Okay, how to make a yoga practice an embodied practice. So in the yoga world right now, this word embodied is being thrown around quite a lot. I've been involved with this field for about 20 years, and it is definable. It's not just anything people want. So embodiment is about the subjective experience of the body as an aspect of self rather than simply a piece of meat. Okay, so yoga could just be a physical practice like athletics, fitness. There's nothing wrong with that, but it is limited compared to embodied practice. So a fitness practice would be one where you're stretching or strengthening. Fine, no problem. However, to call that really truly embodied rather than just tag it on as a brand, certain things need to happen. So the first one is it needs to be basically a mindful practice. I would say that is difficult to do at speed. For me, and I've been practicing a little while, so I don't think I'm just my limitations, a certain amount of slowing down is necessary to really be aware of the body, be aware of the breath, to feel into the body. And I know there are, for example, like Ashtanga, where it's the same form, you can become aware through just, you're not having to think about the form too much. You can be present within that, even at speed. So there's exceptions, but certainly this emphasis on feeling and on breath, I'd say, is absolutely essential. And if a yoga form isn't doing that, I wouldn't call it an embodied approach to yoga. Also, the idea that we're developing ourselves. Yeah, so we're not just developing our muscles, we're working on ourselves as people. From a sort of more Hindu point of view, it might be transcending or differentiating, but there's still this sense of not just working on meat or working on fitness, but actually working on ourselves as people. Different perspectives for that, Hindu, Western psychological, whatever, but certainly more than just fitness would be key here. So if we want to make our perspective embodied and embodied yoga, not just my brand, Embodied Yoga Principles, but other forms of embodied yoga that are out there, there's many, I'd say slowing down, bringing it back to awareness. I'd say not being too limited by form. Like I was in a class last night in Moscow and the teacher was very concerned with getting the exact right shape, and A, we're all different, but B, if I'm focusing on performance, if I'm focusing on how I look or making a specific shape with my body, it's very difficult to actually inhabit the body. So I feel some degree of freedom in the class is necessary, some degree of being able to feel into, adapt, change what you're doing to fit how you actually are. And there's risks here in terms of discipline. However, some aspect to this I think is necessary for a truly embodied approach to yoga. If it's too intense, it's very unlikely as well. So if it's too physically demanding, you're just going to have the subtle feelings of embodiment are going to be drowned out by the screaming hamstrings. So there's a few thoughts on what an embodied approach to yoga looks like. A lot of it is also just intention. There's some intention to be present with the body and to affect our lives, our whole being, rather than just fitness. The intentionality is a key thing too. Hope that helps as people start using the word embodied more loosely. I think you need to be, not to say it's only this, but to at least say, yeah, it's this kind of area, maybe not this kind of area. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, you can subscribe to the channel, hit the bell. More importantly, however, get the newsletter. So the newsletter you do, is that right? In the box here? Okay. So why you would want the newsletter? So you hear about the best videos, so you actually ask me questions, you can reply to the newsletter, I'll reply. You can hear about events, teacher trainings, other things that are happening and stay in touch more reliably. So newsletter there.